Hello everyone and welcome back to Teacup Tarot. In today's video, we are going to be looking into the Saturn Retrograde that is going to be starting at the end of the month of May and which will go on till the end of the year. So we will basically be looking at the energies of Saturn Retrograde, the way it will affect your life and what is it that you can do in order to navigate these times in a better manner. Either way, you have three piles in front of you. Please pick one that really speaks to you and then we'll start with pile 1. Hello, and if you've picked pile 1, these are the messages that are coming forth for you for your Saturn retrograde period, okay? Now, I've done this two ways, okay? I have, of course, taken your tarot cards, and along with tarot cards, I also have a lot of oracles here. So, we'll just start with our tarot so that we get a base of the reading and we'll sort of, build up on it with our oracles. Okay. Now, first of all, I do believe the Saturn retrograde that is starting at the end of this month, it is going to bring an emotional renewal in your life. Like the emotions that were previously unresolved, they'll either start resolving themselves or you will be more equipped to handle them in a better manner. The Saturn retrograde period also will bring forth a lot of new friendships in your life. Of course, along with new friendships starting up, it will also mean a certain kind of friendships will also fade away from your life. But whatever it is, your relationship area, your relationship with your family, your relationship with your friends, that is going to get so much better. One relationship that I really want to highlight here is that with your father. Please ensure that your father is taken care of, okay? And if during this point of time you feel like he is suffering from any kind of a health issue or something is going wrong, make sure you're paying attention to it, okay? Because the father energy is really showing up here, and really taking care of your father's health is something that is going to be important for you. The second part of this is you may also have to do a lot of planning in the Saturn retrograde period. A lot of your plans may also get delayed is what is coming forth, but in order for those plans to still go forth in the way you've planned it, it is important for you to really pay attention to the details of these plans, okay? Go over things again and again, certain documentations that you may sign or you may want to sign in the future. You have to ensure that you're doing it in a very clear manner. Also, communication is one area that you need to be careful about. Whatever you say and whatever the other person understands, make sure it is one and the same thing. Now, please ensure you're taking care of yourself, okay? Now, taking care of your assets, please ensure you're taking care of your money, especially because you need to ensure that everything that you're doing is in a way that is right. Because what happens is sometimes there is a possibility of somebody cheating you during this phase, okay? So in order for you to avoid it, please ensure you're paying attention to the details once again and looking into the minute aspects of all of your transactions, especially financial transactions is also what is coming forth. But again, there is also an emphasis on a great deal of learning. So maybe this is going to be a very good time for you to pick up a new project, a new kind of a learning, or a renewed interest in learning something that you already know a lot about, okay? In certain cases, this can also mean going back to university, taking an online class, or just looking at things in a closer manner. Especially for people who are into research, this time, especially the retrograde time, is going to be very good for you, because I do believe your research will get deeper, your understanding of things will now get a lot more deeper. Again, working with people, working in groups or working as a community is also going to be a very important part of your Saturn retrograde period, especially when it comes to building something, whether this is building a house, whether building a life, building a business. Other people's expertise is also going to be very useful for you, and it is important to put your ego on the sideline slightly, because this thing, whatever it is that you want to accomplish, it will only happen where people come together. In certain cases, like I said, friendships are being highlighted. You may get the assistance of a friend to do something significant, or you may get the support of a friend to do something significant, okay? But either way, I see you guys really making progress in your career, especially something that you're really working hard towards, okay? That is happening very clearly. Again, financially, this is going to be a very rewarding time for you, but this is like money coming in smaller amounts, okay? Like this is like maybe you've invested some kind of money somewhere and you're getting returns for him, or somebody is giving you a gift and you are really enjoying that kind of money. Money is there, money is coming in, even if it may be coming in smaller amounts. But either way, emotional renewal is there, going through your plans time and again, and work wise you are doing really well, okay? Now let us look into your oracle card. So there is an aspect of completion here. In certain cases, this can also mean that where you are currently, you know, wherever you're living currently or wherever you are working currently, you have completed your part there, and it is time for you to move out of that situation, especially work situation. Maybe it is a particular place that you're working. You may realize that you've learned everything that you could have learned there, and you know, staying there is not going to help you any further, so you decide to move on from that place. Or in certain cases, this can also mean changing residence or moving into a newer property or newer premises. In some cases, this can also mean like moving close to family, because family community is again going to be very important for you, especially in the next couple of months. Again, what is happening is there are going to be a lot of aha moments for you during the Saturn retrograde period. So you may find as the Saturn retrograde starts that you will question a lot of things, ask yourself, is this the right thing for me, is this not the right thing for me, what should I do, what should I not do? And because of all of these questions, you find your answers, and those answers help you to move to the next level of your life. Now again, you know, with the new vision, this is like the Saturn retrograde period will allow you to dream some new dreams. Again, with the completion aspect, like a previous part of your life is over and a new life is almost, you know, waiting for you to happen. So what do you want in your life? What does your future look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You are being asked to have a new vision for your life. You're being encouraged to dream some new dreams, learn some new things, and also, you know, dance with the tune of life, okay? That is what is coming forth for you. It is like ending and new beginning at its very best. One thing that the Saturn retrograde is doing, it is making you question a lot of things in your life, a lot of things that have happened in your life. You will also come to a realization that maybe in some cases the way things were that time and the way you perceive them may not have been the same story. It could have been you projecting your emotions on the other person, projecting your expectations on the other person or situation, and because of which certain things shaped the way they have shaped, okay? So be a little aware of this. You will be working with a lot of shadow aspects of yourself in the Saturn retrograde period, and that shadow work will also bring forth a lot of understanding, you know, the veil lifting up. So that is really making sense here. But either way, those projections, going through those projections are going to be very important. Again, having a routine, I cannot underestimate the value of having a routine. Like chop wood, carry water. Anytime you find yourself in a confusion, anytime you find yourself getting too overwhelmed, just do the very basics that you can. Just wake up at a certain point of time, have your breakfast at a certain point of time, do your work, and just have a routine. You know, just having that routine is going to be especially important for you in the next Saturn retrograde period. And again, yeah, that really makes sense. I love how this is tying up. Friendships are going to mean a lot to you in the upcoming months, especially a few people coming to mean a lot to you, because really, you know, if you look at this card, if you look at the very first card and this one again, it is like almost finding the tribe, you know, especially finding those people who understand you, who speak your language, and celebrating life with them. This is like the people who will now show up into your life are almost going to be like parts of you, you know, they almost feel like you know, people you've known previously. That is the vibe that I get, okay? But either way, these are the things that I see the Saturn retrograde period bringing for you. If I have to sum it up, it's going to bring a lot of clarity in your life and a lot of completions. You know, you are ready to move into the different phase, and I do believe the Saturn retrograde period is just going to sort of clarify those things for you. Okay, I will be doing another reading with messages from your spirit guides for the Saturn retrograde period, but of course I'll be doing it as the retrograde period actually starts. Either way, this is your reading for today. I wish you the very, very best, and I hope Saturn blesses you guys infinitely. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've picked pile 2, then this is what the Saturn retrograde period is going to mean for you. Now, I have tarot cards as well as oracles, and we'll just start off with tarot, and we'll just take the oracles as their clarifiers so we can get any extra information from them. So, transformation, total and complete transformation is what is coming for you, pile 2. And I believe you guys are ready for it, because what I sense is pile 2 for you guys, there are a lot of things in your life that should have been out of your life by now, but for some reason you are holding on to them, and the Saturn retrograde period is almost going to give you that push you need to move out of whatever that you find yourself comfortable in. Okay, so what is going to happen here is there are going to be a lot of newer ideas that this period is going to bring into your mind. You may decide that a certain kind of job is not for you. You may decide a certain kind of a lifestyle is not for you. You may decide a certain kind of a relationship is not for you, and as a result you take a lot of decisions. Okay, so a lot of decision making is what you'll find yourself doing in the retrograde period. But whatever it is, these are going to be quick steps on your behalf. Like, you are not going to second guess yourself at all. You're not going to think things through too much, because you will realize that what you are doing, whatever you are being called to do, is the right thing for you, and you are going to be doing exactly that. I also see in terms of your communication, you guys are being really, really direct. You are hitting the nail on the head. You are not afraid to say whatever is on your mind. In a way, the Saturn retrograde period is almost making you very bold. Like, you are ready to accept your truth and your authentic truth. And understand something, Saturn retrograde or Saturn in general, the work of planet Saturn is to make you walk on the path of truth, make you walk on a path that is right, making you walk on a path that is right for your life. Okay, so this is you becoming your authentic version. One thing, however, there may be some things that you are still attached to. In certain cases, these are very unhealthy habits. For a couple of people, this can also be, being very attached to a way of being very attached to certain relationships. In certain cases, this can also be attached to substances, things, and a lot of other things. Okay, online addictions, shopping addictions, but whatever it is you find yourself being trapped in, Saturn is here to tell you it is time to get out of these things, because it almost comes like a warning. But I do see you guys becoming more aware of this and getting out of the pattern, because immediately following the devil you have the card of death here. So this is like you finally realizing that the way you have been doing certain things, the way you've been acting, it is not serving your highest good, and you decide to consciously put an end to it. Okay, in certain cases you may also decide that you want to move to a different place entirely. You may want to move to a different city. You may want to move to a different kind of a job. But either way, in a way, you are tired of your old life is what I see. And whatever it is that you're doing, you are putting a full and final end to it. And again, with that, you have a start of something that is very passionate. Okay, in certain cases, this can also mean a start of a very passionate relationship, or a start of a passion project. Okay, doing something that you really love, but there is a renewed enthusiasm in you. The things that were lying dormant for a very long time, Saturn is sort of releasing you from that, almost in a sense like you are being released from the devil's chains. Okay, you're being released from that. Anything that was holding you back, you are almost being released from that. Now Saturn is asking you, what will you do with your newfound freedom? So you have certain decisions to take, but ensure whatever decisions you are taking risk with it. You are not playing safe. You're really asking yourself, do I love this? And if the answer is yes, you are going for it. Okay, that is something that I see for you. Again, there may be in some cases that people may not agree with a couple of things that you're doing, or people may not agree the way you are doing things. In fact, the way I see it is, some people may even consider you selfish during this point of time, and they may take up the role of the victim. During those times, it is important for you to understand that what they are doing is almost playing the role of a victim, and you shouldn't allow those emotional ploys to get successful, okay? And if you are who always acts like a victim in certain cases, you are being warned against that tendency of yours. Or if you are people who are like, why does life happen to me? Why do things always go wrong with me? Saturn is asking you to get out of the narrative and take the charge of your life in your own hands. This is really being your strongest and most authentic self that Saturn is making you out to be. Again, one thing that's really highlighted here is your need for physical activity. Of course, because of the current situation where a lot of us are indoors, and if we are not engaging in physical activity, this is Saturn telling you you need to start moving around. Because understand this, as you start moving around, the energies change, your aura changes, your physical body also changes. But let me remind you, any physical activity you do should be an activity which is slightly slower. You shouldn't really do anything that is too drastic at this point of time. So activity as smooth as yoga, something like Tai Chi, which is very much in balance, something that is very in tune with yourself, is something that you should head towards, instead of doing something that is very drastic, like Zumba or aerobics, which is like intense exercise. Remember, Saturn is never about intensity. Saturn is always about balance. So that is what you're being asked to do. But either way, you are also finding a lot of success with the Saturn retrograde period. So this is almost like coming out of the limitations, coming out of the boundaries that you may have found yourself in the past, and you're finally tasting success again, is what is coming through. Especially financial success is something that I really see coming for you. There may be times in your life, pile 2, during the Saturn retrograde period, where you may find yourself slightly lonely. But you have to understand, there are points in our life where being alone is very important, okay? And always having friends with you, always having people around you does not help you always. So in a way, the sense I get here is you need to almost make time for yourself being alone. You have to understand that life is usually meant to be lived in groups and meant to be lived for friendships and for family, but sometimes you also need to learn what it means to just be on yourself, okay? Being self-reliant is also one message that is coming through very strongly. Don't be so dependent on the other person that you forget to be on your own, that you forget that you are a person, is also coming through very strongly. And again, meditation is going to be very important for you during this time, okay? And understand something. With Saturn retrograde, discipline is very important. Meditation is very important. Spiritual practice is something that is extremely helpful during the Saturn retrograde period, okay? So if you can, at least half an hour, take it out for meditation. If you believe in chanting, then there is nothing like chanting during the Saturn retrograde period, okay? But one thing you have to remember, especially with the alone card coming, especially with the devil card coming, this is Saturn asking you to be of the world but to not be of the world. Like, live in material but also to preserve the spiritual aspect of yourself. Don't get so material that you lose yourself, is another message that Saturn is bringing for you. Again, Saturn is asking you to take some risk, to learn to move beyond your limitations, okay? That is coming through strongly. Comparing it with the devil card, that really makes sense. Like, you've been tied up, and since the burdens are out, since the limitations are out, it is time for you to live your life once again, and to taste success is also coming up very strongly. One area that is highlighted for you is also your relationships, okay? Like, actually coming in contact with people who mean the best for you, and coming in contact with people who will be there for you no matter what, is also another aspect. If people are not willing to show up for you when you need them, it is better to be alone. So I do believe that is going to be one lesson that Saturn has for you as well. And there's one thing that Saturn is here to remind you: you are protected. As you make these changes, as you really transform your life around, as you spend time with yourself, your energies are protected. You are protected. So don't be afraid of anything that is now showing up in your life. Understand something: Saturn may be a strict teacher, but Saturn is also a teacher who wants nothing but the best for you. He will protect you, he will protect your energies, and he will protect your choices as you make them during the retrograde period. So those are the messages that are coming forth for you for the Saturn retrograde. Of course, I will be doing a separate video on messages from your spirit guides for the Saturn retrograde period, but I'll be doing that once the retrograde starts. So this is just like to give you a view if you are going to be making some decisions in the upcoming period. Either way, I just hope and pray only blessings show up in your life and you are courageous enough to take brave steps for yourself. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Hello, and if you've selected pile 3, then these are the messages that are showing up for you for the Saturn retrograde period. Now we have our oracle cards and we have our tarot, but we are going to be starting from our tarot cards. Okay. So for you, the Saturn retrograde period is almost coming up with a new beginning. But you have to understand that anywhere there is a new beginning, there also are a lot of endings. So for certain people, this can be with regards to your job. In certain cases, this can also be regards to a location where you're living in. Or in certain cases, this can also mean the end of a relationship which was not working. Either way, there is something that you'll be leaving behind and you will also be starting something new. Again, this can also mean newer experiences. This can also mean a new kind of a life. In certain cases, you may actually be called to leave everything that is familiar and move to a different territory entirely. In certain cases, this can mean tremendous lifestyle shifts coming for you. You may decide that a certain kind of a life doesn't speak to you, a certain place doesn't speak to you, a certain kind of a behavior doesn't speak to you, and you will decide to put it in the past and you will decide to start again. Also, what I'm seeing here is, instead of being a person who's very driven by emotions, you will be taking your decisions based on pure logic, based on pure facts, and you will be like, okay, I need to make these decisions and I need to make these decisions based on hard facts. And that, my friend, is pure Saturn energy, okay? In certain cases, you may also decide that a fast life is not for you anymore and you may also decide to slow down slightly. This is almost like you are savoring life in a way is what is coming through for you. You may decide that, moving to the country, moving slightly away from where you are is going to be of greatest advantage for you. In certain cases, I also see you moving closer to home, or possibly moving to a place which is closer to your parents, or moving to a place where you have previously lived, okay? That is what is coming forth for you. But there is a strong connection of the past here. So maybe there is a possibility that a person from your past can also re-enter your life. This can be in the form of old friends, this can be in the form of older colleagues, or in some cases this can be in the form of old memories. But this is almost like you are going down memory lane and learning some things about your past. Digging up the past is also coming through very strongly for you. And I do believe you are also going to get a lot of answers that you've been seeking about your life, okay? And I do believe the answers that you seek lie with people from your family which belong to an older generation, or probably meeting somebody from an older generation, getting their guidance, and as a result, you making a lot of new choices. Again, there is a possibility of you finding a mentor, somebody to guide you in your life at this point of time, okay? You may find yourself also moving a lot towards spirituality or a certain type of spiritual practice, meeting a spiritual guru or following the practices of a specific guru is also very much on the card for you guys. Either way, what I sense here is, wherever you are going in your life, you are going to get a lot of clarity about it. And in a way, this is almost like a rebirth for you, because you have the card of the Ace of Swords, like getting complete and total understanding of your situations, and only then moving into a new background, moving into a new perspective is also something that is coming forth for you. But also you're going to get a lot of rewards, for all the hard work that you've done in the past. And what I'm almost instinctively getting here is, this is like payback time for you. Everything that you've worked hard for, everything that you've really struggled for all of these years. Sometimes it happens like things we work hard for, like people around us are doing really well, and we for some reason are hanging behind. And this is like finally you getting your due. This is like karmic rewards showing up in your life. So that is something that is coming into your experience once again. But again, you are sort of disassociating with your emotions a lot, okay? That is coming forth for you. Again, there is a lot of stability that is coming into your life, even though you may be changing your lifestyle, even though you may be bringing a lot of changes in your life, but these changes are bringing forth good things for you, and the stability that you seek in your life is finally going to be yours, is what I see for you. Let us look into your oracles to get clarifications. Understanding, yes. What is coming here is you'll finally realize why certain things have happened to you. And like I was mentioning, a lot of these understandings is because of understanding your past, understanding the people of your past, or understanding why certain things happened to you. You learn your lessons from them, and as a result you become a wiser individual, and you will make wiser choices for your future, is also something that I see for you. But that understanding is really coming strong here. And look at that, rebirth. So you not only have one, but you also have two cards for the same. So this is like starting again. Like I said, once a person reaps the karmic rewards, a new cycle starts. So this is almost like a new cycle starting for you. This is almost like a new you, but this is a new improved you. This is a you that has learned from the past and really used cold logic to step into the future and to create a future for yourself. That is coming through very strongly here. And I do believe for you, pile 3, in spite of the fact that you will face opposition when it comes to certain choices, you won't be afraid of it. You're not going to be deterred from it, okay, is what I'm really saying here. Because you worked hard for it. Happy ending. Yes, that's exactly what we were talking about, getting rewards for something that you've really worked hard for ages. That karmic reward, that is what is coming for you. And again, after the happy ending, you start something new is also coming forth. In certain cases, this can also be settling down in life. Like I was saying, you're going to find stability coming into your life right now, and that is almost the starting of it, okay? Sometimes happy endings can actually mean complete ending to something in a great way and moving out of that situation. Like in a way, if you decide that you're going to sell your house, that will be a happy ending because you'll be moving to a new place with a new set of things. But there is an ending involved, okay? So that is what it is. But either way, whatever is happening, it is a happy situation and it is not something that you'll be really sad about. Trust me, this is Saturn blessing you, okay? And you're going to be led into lot of new things. Lot of newness is going to be coming into your life in the next 6 months, okay? And you are just being asked to trust where you're going, to trust yourself to make the right decisions for yourself, because honestly, you've lived the part. You've made mistakes, you've learned from it, and you are not afraid anymore. And you really have no reason to be afraid, pile 3, because you're just exactly in the right frame of mind. So trust yourself. Trust wherever life is taking you at this point of time. Observer. In certain cases, what will happen is you will almost go into an observer mode. Like I said, with the 6 of Cups, this is like looking at your past or revisiting your past. So this actually may be observing your life, observing your entire life, observing the choices you've made, the people you've met, and as a result, becoming a wiser person. See, understand, Saturn brings lessons. So this is you learning the lessons of Saturn, okay? That is coming through, and as a result you have the rebirth that really stands forth strongly. And look at this, you have freedom. finally you are free. Like I was mentioning, you may have not had the kind of success you deserved, or you felt like you deserved more and you were not getting it because of certain karmic aspects or certain aspects that planetary situations bring into our life. Okay, but that is happening for you now. Fortune is smiling on you. You are gaining the freedom that you seek. You're moving towards a better life, a life that will be right for you, and that's because of your own understanding. And whatever it is, it's an ending, a happy ending, but a beginning of a much more beautiful time in your life. Okay, and I do sense that Saturn, as compared to pile 1 and pile 2, is really bringing forth rewards in your case. Okay, and Saturn's rewards are the best kind of rewards. Okay, that's something that I'll really tell you. Either way, this is your reading. I hope and pray that Saturn blesses you infinitely. And of course, as we head into the Saturn retrograde period, I will be doing a messages from your spirit guides as well, where I will be getting into a lot more details. But for now, this is your reading, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.